begin saluting new readers.
Hello, my name is Camille Lake, and I'm going to be reading Miss Jaster's Garden. In the corner of the garden, overlooking the sea at Sandy, lived a small spiky animal called a hedgehog, Hedgie for short. In the middle of the garden lived Miss Jaster in Villa Path, a square whitewashed house with ornamental flower pots and front steps. The two did not see much of each other because Hedgie was by nature nocturnal, and Miss Jaster was not. But occasionally they met just after sunset when they both enjoyed strolling in the garden. On these occasions, Miss Jaster would go back in the house and return a few minutes later with a saucer of milk, which she placed at what she hoped was the right end of the hedgehog. But hedgehogs being the shape they are, and Miss Jaster being a little nearsighted, as often as not she put the saucer where the hedgehog's head wasn't, and Hedgie, so as not to cause distress, politely dipped his tail in the milk and pretended to drink. Later, when Miss Jaster went into the house and lit the lamp on the piano, he drank his milk properly. Through the open door, he could hear Miss Jaster at the piano. Her fingers fluttered up and down the keyboard, picking out little tunes as sweet as unpredictable as April showers. Hedgie liked being played for a while he had his milk, and Miss Jaster enjoyed having someone to play for. This way they lived happily for a while. Then one bright May morning, when the air was soft and full of bird songs, Miss Jaster came into the garden to do her spring planting. She wore a purple morning dress and sturdy shoes. She had a large straw hat trimmed with cornflowers on her head, and pulled behind her a small four-wheeled wagon full of garden tools and envelopes of flower seeds. She carried a large green watering can with the letters JJ for Jessica Jatter painted on it in blue. And because the sun was bright and because her eyes were a little watery from reading planting instructions, she wore her dark glasses. These glasses made everything look brownish gray, the same color as the empty flower bed she was about to rake, and the same color as Hedgie, who was asleep in the middle of it. The flower bed was on the south side of the house, a protected nook out of the wind and full of sun. It was the first spot Miss Jaster planted each spring. She raked the bed lightly with a small rake and sprinkled the seeds evenly, marigolds and baby's breath and patches of sweet william. She showered it all generously with her watering can. Thank you for listening to me read. If you'd like to hear the rest of the story, you can check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Molly Casey, and I'm going to be reading Emily and Alice again, The Trade. Emily ran over to her best friend's house. Oh, Alice, where did you get those cool sunglasses? My grandma sent them to me from Florida, she said. Here, you can try them on. Alice tried on Alice's new sunglasses. She looked up at the sky, she looked down at the ground. Everything looked pink and happy. I love these sunglasses, said Emily. I could wear them forever. At that moment, she knew she had to have them. Alice watched Emily suspiciously. I want my sunglasses back now, she said. Emily gave Alice her sunglasses back, but she had a plan. Don't move, she said. I'll be right back. Emily ran to her house. She came back to Alice, holding two stuffed animals. Want to trade Zippity and Doodah for your new sunglasses, she asked. Don't you have your own sunglasses, she asked. I only have the plain round kind, answered Emily. Don't have wool heart-shaped glasses like yours. I don't have sunglasses that make the world pink and happy. Let's trade. Alice looked at Emily's veils. She shook her head. Sorry, Emily. She said, no trade. I'll be right back, said Emily. Emily returned to Alice holding a box. I'll trade you for my favorite rock, she said. Even all the sparkly ones. If I can have your sunglasses. Alice looked at Emily's rocks collection and shook her head. Sorry, Emily, she said. Still no trade, okay, said Emily. Wait till, because I'll be back. Emily ran to her house again. She had to find something to trade. She walked in circles around her room. Then she saw her little sister Nora in the doorway. This was her best idea yet. Emily grabbed her sister's hand and ran back to Alice. Thank you for listening to me. If you want to check it out, if you want to see how the story ends, you can check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Samuel. I'm going to read Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. We were all sitting around the big kitchen table. It was Saturday morning, pancake morning. Mom was squeezing oranges for juice. Henry and I were betting on how many pancakes we each could eat, and Grandpa was doing the flipping. Seconds later, something flew through the air, headed toward the kitchen ceiling, and landed right on Henry. After we realized the flying object was only a pancake, we all laughed, even Grandpa. Breakfast continued quite uneventfully. All the other pancakes landed in the pan, and all of them were eaten, even the one that landed on Henry. That night, touched off by pancake incident at breakfast, Grandpa told us the best tall tale bedtime story he'd ever told. Across an ocean, over lots of huge bumpy mountains, across 3 hot deserts and 1 smaller ocean, there lay the tiny town of Chew and Swallow. In most ways, it was very much like any other tiny town. It had a main street lined with stores, houses with trees and gardens around them, a schoolhouse, about 300 people, and some assorted cats and dogs. But there were no food stores in the town of Chew and Swallow. They didn't need any. The sky supplied all the food they could possibly want. The only thing that was really different about Chew and Swallow was its weather. It came 3 times a day, at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Everything that everyone ate came from the sky. Whatever the weather served, that's what they ate. But it never rained rain, it never snowed, and it never blew just wind. It rained things like soup and juice. It snowed mashed potatoes and green peas, and sometimes the wind blew in storms of hamburgers.
Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to see how the story ends, you can check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name's Daniel, and I'm going to read Pig Pig Grows Up. Pig Pig was the baby of the family. His brothers and sisters had grown up and left home long ago, but Pig Pig refused to grow up. He still wore his sleep suit, though it was too much tight, and he continued to sleep in his crib, even though his feet hung over the end. At breakfast, Pig Pig sat in his high chair. He ate pablum and strained fruit. When his mother had marking to do, Pig Pig insisted on being pushed in the stroller. At the market, Pig Pig would squeal and cry loudly until his mother brought him whatever it was that he wanted. If his mother suggested that he fix his own supper, because she is just too tired, Pig Pig would pout and say, "I can't do that. I can't. I'm only a baby." Pig Pig's mother grew tired of it. "You're a big pig now, Pig Pig," she said. "You've got to grow up." But when she took away his old blanket and brought him a real bed, he sobbed like a baby all night long. When Pig Pig's mother packed away all of his baby clothes and gave him grown-up clothes, Pig Pig cried and cried. "I want my baby clothes," he screamed. "I'm only a baby." So Pig's mother gave in again. Nothing more was ever said about Pig's growing up, until one day on the way home from the market, Pig's mother had a very hard time pushing Pig's stroller. It was full of Pig and all the groceries it took to feed him up. Hi. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to hear the rest of this story, you can read it. You can check it out at your local library.
Hello, my name is Katie Williams, and I'm going to be reading The Angel's Secret. Gabriel was an angel. He obeyed God. Sometimes he took special news from God to people on earth. One day, God sent Gabriel to a young lady. Her name was Mary. Gabriel went to Mary. He said, "Greetings, God is with you." Mary was afraid. She wondered what he meant, but Gabriel said, "Do not be afraid, God loves you. He is going to give you a baby. You will name him Jesus. He will be God's son." Mary was surprised. "How can this be true?" she asked. "Nothing is impossible with God," said Gabriel. "I believe you," said Mary. "I will do whatever God wants me to." Then Gabriel left Mary. Now Mary loved a man named Joseph. They were going to get married. One day Joseph had to take a trip to the city of Bethlehem, so Mary went with him. It was still night outside. The city of Bethlehem was crowded. Many people had come there. Joseph and Mary looked for a place to stay, but there was no room in any house. All the beds were full. People were even sleeping on the floors. But Joseph and Mary had to stay in a stable where the donkeys and horses stayed. That night the baby was born. It was God's baby son. Mary and Joseph named him Jesus. Just as the angel had told them to do. They wrapped him up so he would be warm. Mary made a soft bed for him in a manger. The baby Jesus slept there. Mary loved him, Joseph loved him, and God loved him. It was still night outside the town of Bethlehem. Some sheep were sleeping. Shepherds were watching them. Suddenly, an angel came to the shepherds, and God's glory shone all around them. They were afraid. But the angel said, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news." Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how the story ends, you can check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Ryan Matthias, and I'm going to read My Best Friend is Alice Rowe. My name is Maddie. I have a best friend named Victor. This afternoon, I called him up. "Come to dinner tonight," I said. "My dad is cooking meatloaf." "Meatloaf," said Victor. "I will be right over." The doorbell rang. My mother opened the door. "How do you do, Mrs. Wilson," said Victor. Victor is very polite. "These are for you," he said. "Flowers," said my mother. "How nice." "Come on, Victor," I said. "Let's play in my room." We played beauty parlor. We played video games. I won every time. I showed him my pet snake. He showed me his cool new shoes. Dinner called. My father, we went downstairs. "Oh boy," said Victor, "meatloaf." We ate dinner. Then Victor said, "I have a big surprise." "My tooth came out," he said. "Your tooth," said my father. "How nice." After dinner, we played in the sandbox. We played ball until it got dark. Then Victor said, "Let's play." Then Victor climbed over his mountain. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how the story ends, you can check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Laura Sartori, and I'm going to be reading Mr. Putter and Tabby Board the Tea. Before he got his fine cat, Tabby, Mr. Putter lived all alone. In the mornings, he had no one to share his English muffins. In the afternoons, he had no one to share tea. And in the evenings, there was no one Mr. Putter could tell stories to. And he had the most wonderful stories to tell. All day long, as Mr. Putter clipped his roses and fed his tulips and watered his trees, Mr. Putter wished for some company. He had warm muffins to eat, he had good tea to pour, and he had wonderful stories to tell. Mr. Putter was tired of living alone. Mr. Putter wanted a cat. Mr. Putter went to the pet store. "Do you have any cats?" he asked the pet store lady. "We have 14, she said. Mr. Putter was delighted, but when he looked into the cage, it was not. These are kittens, he said. I was hoping for a cat. Oh, no one wants cats, sir, said the pet store lady. They are not cute, they are not peppy. Mr. Potter himself had not been cute and happy for a very long time. He said, I want a cat. Then go to the shelter, sir, said the pet store lady. You are sure to find a cat. Mr. Potter went to the shelter. Have you any cats? He asked the shelter man. We have a fat gray one, a thin black one, and an old yellow one, said the man. Did you say old? asked Mr. Potter. The shelter man brought Mr. Potter the old yellow cat. Its bones creaked, its fur was thin, and it seemed a little deaf. Mr. Potter creaked, his hair was thin, and he was a little deaf too. So he took the old yellow cat home. He named her Tabby, and that is how their life began. Thank you for listening to me read. If you'd like to hear the rest of this story, you can check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Samantha Jackson. I will be reading Open Eyes. He could not see flowers. He could not see people. He could not see anything. He could not see. He had been blind ever since he was born. Something special happened to this blind man. Jesus saw him. Jesus did something strange. He spit on the dirt and made some mud. Then he put the mud on the man's eyes. Go and wash your eyes, Jesus said. The man did what Jesus said. He washed the mud off his eyes. He looked around. He could see, and the man worshipped Jesus. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hi, my name is Zion Davidson, and I'm going to be reading Jerome the Babysitter. It was 5 days before Allowance Day, and Jerome was broke. I can't even buy an ice cream cone, he sighed. Go find a job, said his older sister Winifred, who was a babysitter. Then you'll be rich like me. Sometimes Winifred had so many babysitting jobs, she asked her friend Lou to help. You should ask me to help, said Jerome. I'd be a terrific babysitter. You're too young, said Winifred. Why don't you go sell lemonade, said Willow. But I want to be a babysitter, said Jerome. Brothers are such pests, sighed Winifred. Just then someone called who needed a babysitter right away. Oh no, groaned Winifred, it's Mrs. Gatorman. Don't look at me, said Willow. I'm busy. I'm not busy, said Jerome. What a wonderful idea, said Winifred. After this, I'll never ask to babysit again, whispered Lulu. Oh boy, said Jerome. You're a real peach, Winifred. He hopped onto his bike and hurried over to the Gatorman house. Mrs. Gatorman rushed out of the front door as soon as Jerome arrived. I'm late, she said. The little angels are eating their supper. All you have to do is put them to bed. That sounds easy, said Jerome. Then he heard a loud crash. What was that? He asked. I didn't hear anything, said Mrs. Gatorman as she jumped into her car. Good luck, Jerome. I'll be back in a couple of hours. Jerome found the Gatorman kids in the kitchen. They did not look like little angels. Jerome gulped. I'm Jerome, the babysitter, he said. Oh good, a new babysitter, said the Gatorman kids. One of them offered Jerome a piece of candy from a heart-shaped box full of frogs. Yikes, asked Jerome as one of the frogs jumped onto his head. April Fool, cried the Gatorman kids. This isn't April Fool's Day, said Jerome. It's always April Fool's Day at our house, said the kid. You look a little shaky. Would you like to sit down? They offered Jerome a chair. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how the story ends, you can check it out at your local library.
Hello, my name is Amber Morowski, and I'm going to be reading The Giving Tree. Once there was a tree, and she loved a little boy. And every day the boy would come, and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches and eat apples, and they would play hide and go seek. And when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much, and the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older, and the tree was often alone. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I am too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I am sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money and you will be happy." And so the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away, and the tree was happy. Thank you for listening to me read this story. If you want to see how it ends, check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Melanie Humphrey, and I will be reading Coyote. Coyote. A blue coyote. He was going along following his nose, and he had a nose for trouble. Coyote stuck his nose into a badger's hole, but got bitten. Coyote wanted to have flaming red hair like a woodpecker, but his fur caught on fire. Coyote went looking for a snake, but only found trouble. Coyote was always in trouble. Coyote came to a place where the earth meets the sky and heard laughing and singing. He went up to take a look. Coyote saw a flock of crows. They were chattering, they were dancing. Then the birds spread their wings and flew through the air and circled the canyon. "Oh, if only I could fly," said Coyote. "I would be the greatest coyote in all the world." Coyote called to the crows. "Let me join you," he said. "This foolish coyote wants to be like us." Old Man Crow said to his flock, "Let's have some fun with him." Old Man Crow turned one eye toward Coyote. "You may dance with us." Thank you, said Coyote, "but I want to fly too." "Maybe you can," said Old Man Crow. Old Man Crow plucked a feather from his left wing and told his flock to do the same. They stuck feathers in Coyote. Coyote winched. His nose twitched. The Crows chuckled. Are you ready to fly? Said Old Man Crow. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how this story ends, you can check it out at your local library. Samantha, the voice spoke.
Your name? My name is Teresa.
Hello, my name is Trace. I'm going to read Meet Samantha. Chapter 1. Samantha, the voice broke through the summer afternoon like a crack. The leaves of the quiet oak tree suddenly rustled and dropped a squirming bundle of arms and legs. Samantha, parking, tumbled out of the tree. Samantha, you're really dumb, the voice continued. It was coming from a hole in the hedge that separated Samantha's house from Avery. You're so dumb, you don't even know how to climb a tree. Samantha glanced at her scrapped and heaving knee and looked pained, not because of the knee, but because the voice was at it again. She glared at its owner with a look that could have frozen water in July. Go away, Eddie. But Eddie's round, sticky face didn't go away. You're so dumb, probably you think 3 times 4 is 12, he said. Eddie Samantha looked disgusted. 3 times 4 is 12. Well, anyway, you're so dumb. That was enough for Samantha, she said. If you don't get out of here right now, I will take your entire beetle collection from behind the shed and I'll put it in the offering at church on Sunday. She paused to be sure he was listening. And I'll tell your mother you did it. Into a faith. Idiot's eyes. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to see how the story ends, you can check it out at your local library. Hello, my name is Christina Dale Garcias, and I'm going to read Matthew and Tilly. Matthew and Tilly were friends. They rode bikes together. They played hide and seek together. They sold lemonade together when business was slow. They played sidewalk games together. And sometimes they ate ice cream cones together. Once they even had rescued a lady's kitten from a tree together. The lady gave them money for bubble gum machines, so later they chewed gum together and remembered how brave they had been. Sometimes, though, Matthew and Tilly got sick of each other. One day, when they were coloring, Matthew broke Tilly's book of crayons. He didn't mean to, but he did. You broke my crayon, Tilly said in her proudest voice. It was an old crayon, Matthew said in his proudest voice. It was ready to break. No, it wasn't, Tilly said. It was a brand new crayon and you broke it. You always break everything. Stop being so picky, Matthew said. You're always so picky and stinky and mean. Well, you're so stupid, Tilly said. You're so stupid and stinky and mean.
Matthew stomped up the stairs by himself. Tilly found a piece of chalk and began drawing numbers and squares on the sidewalk by herself. Upstairs, Matthew got out his cash register and some cans so he could play a store. He piled the cans extra high and put prices on everything. This was the best store he had ever made, probably because that picky and stinky and Tilly wasn't around to mess it up. Thank you for listening to me read. If you would like to know how the story ends, you can check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Courtney Oaks, and I'm reading Great Expectations. It's not from Mexico, but he was standing on the shore across the lake, where he had just freed the wild duck that had been his pet. His father said he had to let the duck go. Oh, Max, his father never liked the pets he brought home. Just then Max knocked something large and pink and purple. It's a giant egg, but where's the mama? He said to himself. Max looked around for a large bowl, one that could be the egg's mother. There wasn't a bowl in sight, so he decided to take the egg home. It needs me, Max declared happily, lifting the big egg. When Max got home, his dad was busy cooking supper that you sounded difficult. Oh, hi, Dad, Max said quickly as he hurried through the kitchen. He struggled up to his room with the egg. I won't tell Dad about the egg yet, thought Max, but wait until I show PJ. But Max called his best friend and told him to come over right away. PJ lived next door. PJ was shocked when he saw the egg. If that thing hatches, the world is going to be huge. He explained. Will your dad let you keep it? I hope so, Max replied with a sight to keep the egg warm. Max covered it with. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to know how this story ends, check it out at your local library. My name is Jennifer Layfeld, and I'm going to be reading Amelia Bedelia Goes Camping. Hurry up, Amelia Bedelia, called Mr. Rogers. I'm coming, said Amelia Bedelia. Did we get everything? asked Mrs. Rogers. I would say so, said Amelia Bedelia. Good, said Mr. Rogers. It's time to hit the road. Hit the road? asked Amelia Bedelia. All right. She picked up a stick and Amelia Bedelia hit the road. Stop that! shouted Mr. Rogers. Get in the car! Amelia Bedelia got in the car. I'm so excited, she said. I've never been camping. You will have fun, said Miss Rogers. They rode for a long time. Finally, Mr. Rogers stopped the car. Wake up, Amelia Bedelia, said Mrs. Rogers. This is it? Amelia Bedelia looked around. But where is the camp, she asked. The camp is in the car, said Mr. Rogers. In the car, said Amelia Bedelia. We are going to camp in the car. Things we need to make the camp are in the car, said Mr. Rogers. Make the camp, said Amelia Bedelia. We have to make the camp? Just forget it, said Mr. Rogers. I'll put the tent here and we can pitch it later. All right, said Amelia Bedelia. If you want to hear the rest of the story, please check it out at your local library. name's Taylor, and I'm going to read Chicka Chicka Boom. A told B and B told C on me to the top of the coconut tree. B said B to E F G, I'll be to the top of the coconut tree. Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, will be in a flow. Here comes H up the coconut tree. And I and J and Tabaronka, all on their way up the coconut tree. Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, will be in a flow. Here comes H up the coconut tree. Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, will be in a flow. Look who's coming, LMNOP. And QRS and QV. Still more W and XYZ. The whole alphabet of the oh no. Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. Skit, scat, scoodle, doo, flip, flop, flute. Everybody running to the coconut tree. Mamas and papas and uncles and aunts hug their little dears, then just as you. Help us up, cried ABC. Let's from the pull-up, skid, knee, and patch, and step-toe, and patched up, then comes G all out of breath. H is tangled up with I, A and K are about to cry. L is knotted like a tie. Thank you for listening to me. If you want to hear the rest of the story, please check it out at the local library.
What do you love?
Reading!
Where do you go to school?
Down St. Mary's!
And what grade are you in?
Second grade!
And what do you love?
Reading!